Welcome to the deep dive. We love to uncover those kind of like sneaky investment opportunities,
Mm.
those ones that fly under the radar. And
Yeah.
today's all about one of those mid-cap stocks.
Right.
So to guide us through this, we've
Okay.
got a real expert, someone known for finding those hidden gems.
Right.
He's developed this strategy for identifying companies with huge growth potential,
I like it.
but that also have like a good, solid track record.
Yeah.
And so this could be your shortcut to like outperforming the market.
Ooh.
And one of the things you might not realize is
Yeah.
a handful of mega cap companies are really distorting how we view the whole market.
It's true. And, you always hear about these market booms,
Right.
but are they really showing the whole picture? Or is
Oh,
it just, those big giants
right.
like an Apple or a Microsoft just
Yeah.
totally skewing things?
Yeah. And that's what we want to break down today.
Okay.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
what exactly is a mid-cap stock?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And why should you care?
Well, a mid-cap company, it sits in a certain range of market capitalization,
Right.
typically between $1 and $10 billion.
Gotcha.
And so you can kind of think of it as like the middle child
Okay.
of the stock market.
Okay.
It's not that super risky, unpredictable startup,
Right.
but it's also not that giant
Okay.
with like limited potential for growth.
Gotcha. So it's like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of both.
Yeah. It's the perfect blend of stability
Okay.
and growth,
Okay. Yeah.
which is what makes it so attractive to investors.
Interesting. And does that translate to resilience at all?
It does. When things get shaky when you're in like an economic storm,
Mm-hmm.
mid-caps with
Yeah.
their solid foundations,
Yeah.
they tend to weather that turbulence better than those smaller, more volatile companies.
Okay, so now that we know what they are, how do we find them?
Right. So our investor today, he has this strategy.
Okay.
He looks at two factors.
Okay.
Price to sales ratio. It's got to be 1.5 or lower.
So what does that tell you?
Well, it's basically seeing if the stock price is a bargain
Okay.
compared to its revenue.
Gotcha.
It's like, when you're buying a car,
Mm-hmm.
you're comparing the sticker price to its actual features.
Right. Are you getting a good deal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to overpay for hype.
So it's about value
Yes,
and not just following trends.
precisely.
Okay, so that's the first factor. What's the second?
High earnings potential.
Ooh.
So not just what it's doing today, but its future.
Right. So it's got to be innovating, expanding into new markets.
Exactly. Those are the signs of a company poised for growth.
Okay, so he's looking for those companies that the market's maybe undervaluing right now.
Yes.
And this approach has worked for him.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of returns are we talking?
Well, his mid-cap fund has seen about 38% returns this year.
Wow.
That's significantly outperforming the broader market.
So that's a compelling case for paying attention.
Right.
What kind of companies does he actually invest in?
Well, some might surprise you.
Okay.
Alaska Airlines,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Host, the cereal,
Yeah.
KB Homes.
Wait a minute. So these are companies we see every day.
Exactly.
And he's picked these ones specifically.
He has. And,
Because,
they have those low price to sales ratios.
right.
Strong potential for growth.
Interesting.
And they've all contributed to those big returns.
So it's all about seeing that value
Yeah.
and understanding why these companies could be even more successful.
Precisely.
And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Those mega cap companies
Well-
that kind of distort our view of the market.
Totally.
How does that tie into this focus on mid caps?
Well, when a company like Apple or Amazon has a killer quarter,
Yeah,
it sends ripples.
right.
It boosts indexes.
Sure.
It creates this sense of like, everyone's doing well,
Right.
but are those gains really reflecting the broader economy?
Right. So it might look healthy,
Exactly.
but the reality is
Yeah.
for a lot of companies
Especially mid-caps.
could be very different.
Exactly.
So instead of chasing those expensive mega caps,
Right.
he's looking for the hidden value
Mm-hmm. In the mid-cap space.
where those giants might not have as much influence.
Precisely. He's looking beyond the hype
Right.
and into those fundamentals.
That's like seeing the forest for the trees.
Yes.
And that's got to be crucial in today's market.
It is. And another thing that could really shake things up for mid-caps,
Okay.
deregulation.
Ah, yeah, that could be huge.
It can be a game changer for so many industries.
But how would it impact mid-cap specifically?
Well, deregulation often lowers those barriers to entry,
Okay.
creates opportunities for mid-cap companies to innovate
Uh-huh.
and expand much more quickly.
I see. So it's not just about picking stocks.
Right.
It's about understanding the forces at play.
Absolutely. Imagine a mid-cap company
Yeah.
developing like a cutting-edge automation tech.
Mm-hmm.
Regulations loosen.
Yeah.
boom, suddenly they have access to a much larger market
Huh.
they could compete with
Yeah.
or even disrupt the big players.
So it's about spotting those growth areas
Exactly.
and finding the companies that are ready.
And that's where our investors' advice about tuning out the noise
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on the fundamentals comes in.
Right. So while others get caught up in the hype,
Yeah.
he's looking for those solid companies
With strong leadership.
that can thrive in a changing landscape.
Exactly.
So looking past the headlines
Yes.
and seeing the long-term implications.
Exactly. You got it.
That's what sets those really successful investors apart.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, the ability to connect the dots and to find those hidden gems.
Before everyone else sees them.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm already learning a lot.
Good.
And I bet our listeners are too.
I hope so.
But we've just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a moment to go even deeper into this world of mid-cap investing.
Sounds good. You know, it's so easy to get swept up
Oh, yeah.
in the day-to-day of the market.
Absolutely. Like just watching those numbers.
Exactly. You're checking your portfolio constantly.
Yeah, and riding that roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster, but, you know,
Yeah.
real investing success.
Yeah.
It's about taking that long-term view.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we, like, avoid getting caught up?
Well, our investor today,
Yeah.
he's got this really great strategy.
Okay.
Tune out the noise.
The short-term noise
Exactly.
Yeah.
And focus on the value
of the companies.
of the companies that you're invested in.
Right. And we're talking about mid-caps here.
Yeah, these mid-cap companies, they're often chosen
Yeah.
for their resilience,
Okay.
for their potential for steady growth.
Okay, so they're not as susceptible to those sudden shifts.
Exactly. It's like building a house.
Okay.
You wouldn't want a foundation
Right.
that crumbles at the first sign of a storm.
No.
You want something solid, something built to last.
And that's how we should think about investing.
Precisely. You know, focus on those companies
Yeah.
that have strong fundamentals, a proven track record.
And they can handle those ups and downs.
Exactly.
And that's what's led to these great returns.
Yeah, you know, that 38%.
That we talked about.
It's not just luck.
Yeah.
It's a disciplined approach.
It's understanding.
Yeah, understanding how to find those companies.
Right. That are not just doing well now.
Right.
But are set up for future growth.
Exactly.
But for someone who's new to this,
Yeah.
it can seem pretty overwhelming.
It can be. Where do you even start?
Where do you start?
Well, you know, the first step is just getting started.
Okay.
Educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Learn about the different types of investments.
Okay.
Understand those basic concepts like,
The market cap.
exactly, like market capitalization.
Okay. And price to sales ratio.
Yes. All those key metrics.
And there are resources out there, right?
Oh, tons of them.
Okay.
Online tools,
Yeah.
educational materials.
You could even talk to a financial advisor.
Absolutely. You know someone who can give you that personalized guidance.
Okay, so it's about
Empowering yourself with knowledge.
not just following the crowd or
Right.
the trends.
Do your own research.
Understand the businesses.
Exactly. And build a portfolio
Yeah.
that fits your goals.
And your risk tolerance.
Exactly.
It's like this whole discussion is about more than just picking stocks.
It is.
It's about shifting your perspective.
Yes.
Like seeing those opportunities that other people miss.
Totally. It's like cultivating that curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
you know, challenging the status quo,
Yeah.
exploring those less traveled paths.
And you never know what you might find
Exactly. You never know.
when you step outside that comfort zone.
Right.
So being open to new possibilities.
Yes.
But one thing that always gets
Yeah,
people.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Volatility,
Yes.
those market swings.
Yeah, the ups and downs.
It can be scary.
Especially for new investors.
It is. It's that fear of the unknown.
Right.
Like you're losing control.
What do you tell people?
Our investor today, he keeps it really simple.
Hmm.
Ignore the noise.
So don't panic sell
Exactly.
when the market dips.
Don't do it.
Oh,
Remember those short-term swings?
yeah.
They're driven by emotion,
Right.
speculation.
Not actual value.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you've done your research. You
Yeah.
understand the businesses.
Yeah.
You have a long-term view.
You're playing the long game here.
You're going to weather those storms
You're going to be okay.
and come out on top.
So trusting your gut.
Trusting your research
Trusting your research.
and not getting derailed
Like,
by those short-term blips.
it's all about that long game.
And diversification.
Oh, yes.
Super important.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Spread it around.
Different sectors, industries, even asset classes.
Right.
It all helps to manage that risk.
But building a diversified portfolio
Yeah.
can be a lot,
It can be.
especially when you're just starting.
Take it slow,
Okay.
one step at a time.
Okay.
Set realistic goals.
Educate yourself.
Learn as you go.
Build that portfolio over time.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
And neither is a successful portfolio.
Exactly. And,
Half.
don't be afraid to get some help.
From the pros.
Yeah, talk to the experts. There's no shame in that.
Especially with something as complex as
Like-
finances.
Absolutely. And the most important thing,
Yeah.
just get started.
Yeah.
Just get started.
It's just,
The sooner you start investing,
yeah.
the sooner you can harness
The power.
the power of compound growth
Compound growth.
and start building that long-term wealth.
Okay, so taking that first step,
Yeah.
committing to the journey.
It's not about getting rich quick.
Right.
It's about slow and steady progress.
Over time.
Exactly. Time is your friend.
Time's on your side.
It is.
Okay, so before we move on, just want to reiterate something.
Please.
Mega cap companies, they might get all the headlines.
They do.
But don't underestimate
The mid-caps.
the mid-caps. It's about looking beyond the obvious.
Yes.
You know those companies that are getting all the attention
Okay.
and finding those hidden gems?
Exactly. There are so many companies out there
Yeah.
with strong fundamentals,
Mm-hmm.
great growth potential
And they get overlooked.
all the time.
It's like panning for gold.
It is. You got to sift through all that dirt.
Right.
But those nuggets,
Are out there.
they're there.
And they're worth it.
They are.
So understanding value investing,
Yeah.
doing the research,
Mm.
keeping that long-term view,
It's all part of it.
that's how you unlock those opportunities.
Exactly.
And build a portfolio.
That can outperform the market.
So you're not just following everyone else.
No, you're a savvy investor.
You're making your own decisions.
You got it.
But there's something more to it.
There is. It's not just about making money.
Right.
It's about taking control.
Your financial future.
Exactly. Building a legacy.
Yeah.
Something that can last.
For generations.
That's the goal.
So taking ownership.
Yeah.
Shaping your own destiny.
You're not just letting life happen to you.
Right. You're in control.
You're in the driver's seat.
And it starts with educating yourself.
It does.
Taking that first step.
Mm-hmm. Exploring the world of investing.
And you can create a brighter future.
Absolutely. For yourself and the people you care about.
So transforming from a spectator
Yeah.
to an active participant,
I love that.
shaping the market,
That's the goal.
not just watching it.
Exactly. So before we move on to our final segment,
Okay?
I want to pose a question to our listeners.
Okay.
If all the attention is on those mega cap companies,
Right.
where should you be looking for hidden value?
Is it time to dive into the mid-cap space?
Maybe
Check out those opportunities?
those companies that are quietly innovating,
Growing,
growing.
creating value.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be exploring in our final segment.
Stay tuned.
We've been on this deep dive exploring mid-cap stocks and really trying to figure out how to find those hidden gems.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring it back to you.
To the listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to give you a new way to see the market.
Peel back some of that mystery.
Make investing feel a little less intimidating,
Right.
more accessible.
Yeah. Hopeful.
And we want to empower you
Yeah, give you the tools.
to make those decisions about your money.
So you can feel confident about your future.
And that's where this idea of a mid-cap magic comes in.
Yeah.
It's not about getting rich quick,
No.
but it's about understanding that
Yeah.
the market is more than just those big flashy headlines.
It's more than just Apple and Amazon.
Right. And there are these
Yeah.
kind of under the radar companies
Mhm.
that are growing and doing really well.
Creating real value.
And if you're willing to dig a little,
Yeah. Put in work.
you might find some amazing opportunities.
You might just strike gold.
So we've talked about the what,
The what of mid-caps.
what they are, why they matter, how to find them.
Right.
But the big question is,
What now?
what now?
What are you going to do?
What will you do with this information?
Will you explore? Will you let it spark your curiosity?
Are you going to go out there and research?
Yeah.
The real magic is in that journey of discovery,
Taking control of your financial future.
making those informed decisions.
Empowering yourself.
So go for it. Do your research, ask questions,
Yeah.
and maybe you'll find your own mid-cap magic.
That's what we're hoping for.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into mid-cap stocks.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
We hope you learned a lot and are ready to explore this exciting world.
Happy investing, everyone.
Until next time.